But when you look at what NVIDIA did with it, they took kind of the same image of that. They took a different shot of it and put it together, probably inspired what he did.
That's not even a picture of the sun either.
No, but it's showing a diffusion as well.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
And that's definitely a problem, because if light diffuses in space, we wouldn't be able to see any stars.
Well, it's like you said, the reason why we have these guys that are living on our channel 24 hours a day, like this NASA loving psychopath, he will not stop. "24/7 this guy's there. That's not normal. A normal person does not do that. Look at Ian Regan. When he leaves a comment, he leaves one or two, and that's it. He's finished. But not with this NASA loving psychopath. He doesn't stop. And I think that Scott's right. The reason why these guys are doing what they're doing is because we're cutting into their profits.
Exactly.
And the story that they're trying to perpetuate, the story of the moon landing.
Robert needed something out of the journal site. Robert needed something out of the journal site. So I was just reading a little bit of text from it. And here on the right hand side, when they were going to land, splashdown was. That's in the journal site from the press kit. They said that they'd be landing at 2:24 p.m. on December the 19th. And AI said that the actual landing was at 2:24 p.m. That's so accurate. "350 nautical miles." It doesn't say here exactly how many nautical miles southeast of Samoa. How can that be that accurate? They predicted this months before in the press kit to have that kind of detail. That's how well scripted they were.
You could only do that in a script for a film.
And by the way, when you're talking about the other stuff, weren't they taking off to rendezvous so they could get back to Earth? Wouldn't they be a little bit busy? Do you think they had time to adjust the camera?
Why bother adjusting the camera?
But they're taking off. Their lives are in danger. If they don't reconnect to the orbiter, they're dead. In the meantime, they're changing the camera? Where did they have the time for that?
Yeah, makes no sense.
It'd be the last thing on your mind whether the camera was working or not.
Yeah, you wouldn't care. You want to get back home, assuming you're anywhere near the moon in the first place.
Well, it's the same thing with this camera, changing it from 6 frames to 24 frames per second. Where are these guys getting the time to do all of this when they're taking off?
Yeah.
When they're getting into orbit, when they need to make little corrections with their retro thrusters? Where are they getting all this time?
And why isn't it mentioned in any of the transcripts? And why isn't it mentioned in any of the transcripts?
So far that we've seen, there hasn't been any that we've seen to date.
No, that's true. There's very, very little realistic activity, assuming they were on the moon and assuming they were trying to catch up with the orbiting command module. There would be a lot of connection between the two craft. Stands to reason. They can only launch at a certain point in time when the command module is a certain distance behind them at the point of their launch, so they can catch up with it. But they don't discuss it at all. They don't make any reference to it. And it can't be monitored from Houston because the time delay with the signal would preclude any accuracy. It takes 2.5 seconds.
Well,
get,
every time it orbits, it's in a slightly different orbit.
and they need to know where it is. And they need to know where it is.
This photo over here is taken from inside the LEM, right here. There's the window.
Right.